Everyone, welcome to the HitLights introduction video to our LED strip lights. These come in 16.4 foot spools, but they're cuttable to custom lengths, and they have sticky tape on the back, so they're super easy to install. So at the top here is our basic 3528 LED strip. And on the left you can see we have warm white, which is close to a soft white incandescent bulb, and on the right we have cool white, which will be closer to a neutral daylight kind of light. Below that you can see our high density version of this strip, which will have twice as many LEDs in the same length of spool, and with that you get a much more even lighting effect instead of the highs and lows with a regular LED strip. Next we'll turn on our colored SMD 3528s, and we have green, blue, and red available. So for 3528s you can get all 5 of these colors. You can get warm white, cool white, green, blue, or red. If you need more brightness than regular 3528s will provide you, and even the high density won't do, we also have SMD 5050 type LEDs that are actually a little bit brighter than the 3528s. So this would be our regular density, warm white and cool white SMD 5050 strip. And if that's still not bright enough, we have the high density version of that available as well, which as you can see has twice as many LEDs. Our SMD 5050 strips also come in an RGB strip, which will use a red, green, and blue channel to actually produce any color in the spectrum. So right now you can see we have it cycling through all the colors that it can show. And if this strip still isn't quite bright enough for you, we have the high density RGB strip available as well. And this one has again twice as many LEDs as the regular density, so you get a much better, more even lighting effect across the strip. So we have a large assortment of accessories for the LED strip lights. At the top we have our barrel connections, so if you need a male plug or if you need an extra female plug on a cut segment of your LED strips, you can add those. These connections in the middle are all of our any angle connections and extensions that can run between our strips. We do also have this connector right here, which will connect a cut 5050 strip to a 4-pin connection at its controller, like you might see in a 44 key or an amplifier. At the top here we have a physical dial dimmer for our 3528 strips. So if you have just one color, you can bring it all the way up and down with that. You can do the same thing with this dimmer, but it actually has these physical wire screws, which actually enable this dimmer to power 2 LED strips instead of just one. The RGB amplifier right here on the left has 2 4-pin connections to connect 2 of our RGB strips, and then a little power connection to connect to an extra power adapter, and that'll keep your signal strong coming from your RGB controller so you can extend the strips. The 44 key infrared controller right here has an infrared sensor on one end and a 4-pin connection on the other to connect to your RGB strip. On the bottom right we have our music controller, which has the standard DC barrel input to connect to your power adapter, and the other end is the 4-pin connection for your LED strip. And the music controller is really fun because it has a built-in microphone and the lights will flash in relation to the sounds of the room. The sensitivity regulation knob also lets you adjust to however loud the music in the room is. The Y-splitter on the bottom left here will take an output from a controller and split it into 2 directions. So you can have your power adapter and your controller in one spot and have LEDs coming out in 2 directions from your controller. So you can see we have